Alright, last section, stress and health. So even if you don't have any of the other disorders, all of us have stress at some point, and we're getting to the end of the semester. Typically there's a lot of stress there. So factors that serve as stressors to your body are going to produce stress to the internal parts of your body and threaten homeostasis. So body wants to stay normal, stress threatens that. Stressors increase the activity of your sympathetic nervous system, which reacts to those stressors. So types of stress can be physical stress on your body. Maybe if you just started basketball practice, that can be a physical stress when you have to run hundreds of ladders. Psychological stress. All teenagers have psychological stress. Whether it's grades, worried about grades, worried about peers, worried about all sorts of sports, colleges, things like that. And combination of both of them together. Typically, one's going to affect the other one. Physical stress threatens the survival of tissues. So here's just a few examples. Extreme cold, it is wintertime, so being out in the cold can be a physical stress. Extreme heat can also be a stress. Prolonged exercise or change in exercise routine. Or also infections, diseases, colds, flu, thing like that can be physical stress. Headaches can be a physical stress. Psychological stress, perceived dangers, more of your feelings about things. So anger, and think about this during the day. Anger, depression, fear, grief, pleasant, overexcited. Think of all of your levels of things that you feel throughout the day. Those would all be examples of worry. Worry should be on that list because worry is a big source of psychological stress. So how do we respond to stress? Responses to stress are designed to keep your body in its normal range. So how you respond to stress is very important. Hypothalamus in your brain controls the stress response or general adaptation syndrome, the alarm stage, the resistance stage. So here I'm looking at kind of higher levels of stress. The alarm stage is going to involve that fight or flight, so can produce epinephrine, norepinephrine. And here again, it's a response of sympathetic natural nervous system. In the resistant stage, CRH from your hypothalamus and to your anterior pituitary is going to increase ACTH. So remember, both of these are going to go to your adrenal gland. So basically, it starts in your brain, goes to your adrenal gland. This would be the fight or flight, adrenaline, all worked up. Maybe it's the night. I kind of get that once in a while. I tend to take on a bunch of stuff. So I might be thinking, oh my gosh, I have basketball this weekend. I had junior youth this weekend. I've got to wash clothes. I've got to do this. And then I'm going to be gone on Monday and la-da-da-da-da. And all of a sudden you have all this stuff piling up and you just get that overwhelmed kind of feeling. So that fight or flight is not just lifting cars and running fast. It is when you get all worked up and your heart's beating fast, you're stressed out. Cortisol from the adrenal cortex. So your cortisol is going to increase amino acids, fatty acid release, glucose formation. It's going to put glucose into your bloodstream, fatty acid into your bloodstream, things like that. Decrease in lymphocytes, which is why during stressful times people get sick. When you're stressed out, you are more likely to get sick than if you're not, because it lowers those lymphocytes that are very important for your immunity. Long-term risks, so if you're all worked up for a long period of time, that can lead to high blood pressure, ulcers, and atherosclerosis is hardening of the arteries or too much fat in your bloodstream, and it's going to cause your, like blood clots and things like that can possibly happen. Glucogen and growth hormone increase under stress to help mobilize, move some of those energy sources. ADH, antidiuretic hormone, kidney is going to retain water, and sometimes you'll notice that when you're stressed out, you might actually start to retain water, and that's why they talk about stress leading to weight gain. A lot of the weight that's gained during stressful time is actually water, where you actually retain water, and that can lead to weight gain. Diagram, so here, stress, my brain interprets that I have stress. Sympathetic impulses are then triggered. It's going to go to my adrenal gland, epinephrine, norepinephrine, same things, we talked about this before. Your heart rate increases, your blood pressure increases, all of this stuff happens. Over here on the other side, the adrenal cortex, cortisol is released.